Hi, and welcome to the December 2016 book talk. A quick review of the rating scale before we get started. 5 stars, loved it. 4 stars, liked it. 3, it was okay. The first book I read was Ms. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I don't have the actual book with me right now because someone is borrowing it because they wanted to read it too. But I did get a box set, so I can kind of show you these two because they're set up very, very similarly. What I really liked about this book is it's a cool mix of fiction writing, so writing that is fake, along with some photographs, which is a pretty unusual mix. So here in Hollow City, this is the second book, Hollow City, there's text, and then you come to some really cool photographs. So I want to show you photographs from the first book, and I want to see if you notice what's peculiar about them. So those are bees that are all over this young man. Here's another peculiar photo. Do you notice anything strange? Possibly in the reflection. Here's another one, which is just creepy. So a family tragedy results in 16-year-old Jacob traveling to a remote island where he discovers the crumbling remains of what was an orphanage. And this happens at pretty much the beginning of the book. So there's a strange collection of very curious photographs. There's an abandoned orphanage, and they're on a mysterious island. And again, it's a very unique book. I enjoyed it, and it really is unique. So I recommend this book. The other book I read was a recommendation that someone made for me, and it's the book Bone. This is Rose, and I thought it was okay. So it's a really nice graphic novel. Here's some of the pages. And it's a prequel to the Bone series. So we learn kind of the backstory. So there's young Princess Rose, who is much older Grandma Ben in the series. And she goes to the Northern Valley in order to fight a dragon that has been attacking small towns. We also learn more about Rose's sister, who follows more of a darker path, a sinister path. I feel like I probably would have enjoyed this book more if I had started maybe with book 1 in the series and read it that way, and then read the prequel later on to get the backstory. So if you are interested in reading the graphic novel Bone, I would recommend starting with book 1 and then reading the prequel later. So, the book that I am currently reading is Missing Since Monday. This also was a recommendation. Thank you. So I'm excited to get a little bit deeper into this book. I also had some questions about if I only read young adult literature, and I don't. I do read a lot of other things. I read a mix of fiction and nonfiction, both for work and for leisure, for fun. So what's important about reading is that you're reading a wide variety of things. So I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've been reading outside of just youth fiction. So I also read magazines. I read more adult literature. I also currently am rereading Orbiting Jupiter for book club, which is during WIN. In January, we'll start another book, so maybe you'd like to join us. I also read blogs. I read articles. I read books that are nonfiction for work, that are education related. When I read articles, you might notice here, I often annotate because that really helps me with my reading comprehension. And I also read other things too, like cookbooks. So I do a lot of reading, a wide variety of reading different things. What I'll also be reading after I finish Missing Since Monday will be the Wednesday Wars. So, what books do you recommend? Do you have a book recommendation for me? If you do, please submit the book recommendation to me at alexandra.austin@isd709.org. Thanks so much for joining me. See you in January.